Hi friends, I have a reading ready to go here for Leo. I'm so excited to read for you, Leo. I have a Scorpio sun, Pisces moon, Leo rising, and I probably don't pay nearly enough attention to my Leo rising. I'm really enamored with your energy, and I'm excited to dive into it with you today. What I see overall, just as a general description, like jumping right out the gate at me, is a lot of conflicting energy. So like a lot of yin yang opposite stuff going on. For example, I'm going to start off with your underlying energy. So the energy that's just running like a current underneath the whole reading. And even there, I have the sun and the moon, which is so interesting, just the contrast here. I love how in this image she's submerged in the water, and really what the moon card represents is something feels hidden. You might feel as though you want answers about something or information about something, and it's been hard to get access to that knowing. But when the moon card comes out, it's because that's purposeful. These periods in time when we don't have full access to information is meant to allow us to sit in our intuition and tap into our inner knowing and our inner nudges. In other words, the information is not available for a reason, whatever that reason might be. But on the other hand, the sun represents clarity. So I feel like what the sun and the moon mean in this reading is that now or soon you might feel this way, but you're undergoing a process where you're going to move from this energy to this energy. And I want to say it's pretty quick because there's a couple cards on the table that indicate speed. Also in your underlying energy is soften and armor up. So again, this yin and yang sort of opposing energies. And I will dive a little more into this later because I do see some cards on the table that reflect this a little bit. So I'll put that on pause for now. But along with that, we have this renewal. And I think that this is the point. I think that this whole reading and the underlying cards that I already talked about is going to speak to something that's underway for you right now or soon will be, that has to do with a renewal for you, that has to do with you perhaps hitting the reset button on something or getting re-inspired about something, or sort of a reigniting of your passion perhaps. There's this heart-based light that is illuminated there in the center. And for me, this very much seems to be a heart-based renewal that's attempting to come through for you, or that's on the way, and that requires some degree of mystery for now, followed by clarity. Okay, so the first cards I have on the table, and it includes one of the reasons that I mentioned that there seems to be speed here or momentum, is that you have the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands is very much about fast-moving momentum kind of energy. It can mean incoming communication. It can sometimes mean that unexpected information or communication has landed in your lap, like a text came through that was maybe surprising, but that quickly dropped energy on your lap that you then needed to deal with or manage or sit with in this sort of space. And then along with that, what I have is this mental health card. And so to me, what this really indicates, I want to tie more of this in later, but for now, just know that for me, this really speaks about the renewal. There may have been something that has been feeling out of balance, and that this renewal process is meant to help you balance out. Even right underneath the renewal card is this balance card. So I do think that you're sitting with opposing energy in part because it's time to balance something out in your life that will lead to better well-being overall, or that you'll get some clarity about what works best for you in terms of feeling good, feeling really inspired, and feeling as though you can then tap into this renewal energy, because that seems to be the whole purpose. This whole reading seems to be about getting you there. If you hear anything in the background, I apologize. My daughter's making cookies, and literally she was blending earlier, and I'm like, oh, I had to start over. So anyway, along with these, it may feel as though there are some obstacles that have landed in your lap or on your path. Perhaps that's what this quick moving incoming information or situation is about. Maybe it sort of rattled your well-being. But then what I have is that this is happening for you. And I want to apply this to the moon as well. So sometimes when we have sort of something land in our lap that way, what it feels as though is like we're falling into this energy of like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do with this, or I don't know what this means. It can kind of get us in this cloudy headspace. But then this is happening for you is really in alignment with the idea that whatever's going on right now is really meant to help you establish a renewal. So along with that, I have on the right track and timeline jump. Timeline jump for me is very much just echoing this idea that this is all about a renewal. So it's all happening for you. Whatever this energy was or is, although it might have you sort of feeling like you're in this space, it's asking you to sit in the depths of what you feel and know and sense around that so you can pull information out that applies to your life and that might inform your life moving forward so that you can tap into this renewal energy. So then along with that, in the second row, I have purpose and beginnings. So I want to kind of put them this way because what this looks like to me is like this beginnings card. She's holding this light in her hands, and then it almost looks as though she's climbing up these stairs to the top here where the light is shining brighter. And this looks like a portal. So it feels like this is your timeline jump. It's like this is the information you're sitting with, which then you can apply to your life and utilize to take you up this ascent into this area that is where your renewal occurs. Along with that, I have the Magician. So the Magician is one of my favorite cards because the Magician is all about your inner magic. The Magician uses all four elements that are in tarot to create magic. And those elements are water, fire, earth, and air. So in the traditional tarot, the magician has all of those on his altar and he's able to create magic. This is all about divine co-creation to me. It's also about manifestation. So it seems to me that this process has you metaphorically sitting in front of your cauldron and asking yourself, what is it that I'm going to create with this? Based on everything that I've learned and what I know now, what is it that I want to do with this next? It's very magical and beautiful energy, although sometimes it might not feel like it, especially when you're here. So I think it's important that you know that. And then along with this, I have this, give it a try and stretch yourself. There's something about this card that has me feeling as though whatever it is you're sitting in this co-creation, manifestation energy around, it might have to do with something that feels like it's outside of the realm of what you would normally do. It might feel a little uncomfortable to you. Even if it's just about setting a new boundary with someone when you would normally people please with them, or if it's something big like launching into a whole new aspect of your calling or your purpose, whether big or small, it seems like you're getting a nudge to stretch yourself and to expand the way that you see yourself right now, because that's what's going to allow renewal energy to land in your field. But then as I was talking about this yin and yang juxtaposing energy, right next to that, you have something really interesting. So you have this Page of Wands, which I think of as like an enthusiastic disciple, someone who really wants to learn something new, someone who's feeling pretty excited about that idea, a passionate, youthful energy, youthful not in terms of age, but the fact that this is something new to you. It might not be an area that you feel like an expert in, but it's something that really interests you. Whatever this means, apply it how it fits in your life. And then I see this masculine here. So the masculine, at first when I saw this come out, I thought, okay, this is you in your masculine energy needing to take charge and move forward in this direction. But then when I pulled out a couple more cards, I got know and clear your energy. So what this feels like to me is as though there's someone in your life potentially who might be embodying a masculine energy in this moment or in this interaction. It doesn't have to mean that they are a man. It could be a male or female individual, but who is embodying masculine energy and who may not be completely on board with this, or perhaps you're worried that they might not approve of it. So if this resonates, this is saying, hey, clear your energy here, because this enthusiastic energy is available to you because it's allowing you to have a renewal. And if there's something that's blocking that, it's asking you to set a boundary. that either might upset someone else or that you fear might upset someone else. So I think that's what this armor up energy was about, because remember, in your underlying energy, we have armor up and soften. And I was saying how this feels really contradictory to one another. It does feel as though you are being asked to do both. Like, soften around the fact that you don't need to have all the answers right now. You're meant to soften and feel into your deepest intuition and knowing. But armor up when it comes to the need to set a boundary. And then what I have next to that is this beautiful Chariot card, which also is very much another momentum, speed sort of card. While this tends to speak of incoming information or communication, this tends to speak about your quick movement. And that's also why I was saying earlier that it feels as though you're meant to move pretty quickly through this period of confusion or mystery to clarity. It feels like this process is not going to take a long time. It simply seems as though it's showing up for you so that you can stop and assess for yourself what brings you the most balance, what helps you to feel like you have a strong sense of well-being, and then perhaps making some adjustments so that you can operate in that sweet spot, so that from that place you have more sustainability and longevity. Because for whatever reason, things might have felt a little off-balanced for a while. It seems as though it's meant to really help you quickly realign. And then what I got along with that is your gifts are needed. And so it does feel as though this punctuates the purpose for the renewal to begin with. The renewal is, of course, so that you feel better, so that you have more balance in your life. But it's also because when you have more balance in your life and when you can tap into your childlike enthusiasm and joy and excitement and passion again, this is when we unlock new gifts in our lives, gifts that are needed in this world. So yes, this is for you, but it's also so that you can operate at your best and then shine your light into the world, which seems to be very important. The final punctuation about that process is this inner parent. Inner parent coming out here speaks to me about the fact that so much of this process might be referencing the need to take better care of yourself. You may be somebody who's great at taking care of other people, but who might have gotten a little bit depleted over time because there wasn't enough care and attention given to keeping your own fire lit and burning bright. If you've been feeling at all tired or uninspired, that's what so much of this seems to be about. Renewing your sense of purpose, renewing your sense of excitement and joy and passion for your magic, your unique, special magic, because your gifts are needed. It's like it's saying, hey, let's speed this along. We really need those gifts. So the lessons are coming in hot. Okay, so I want to get a Moonology card for you and a angel number card as well. And then we will be wrapping up your reading. Thank you for letting me read for you. It's such an honor and such a pleasure. Always, every time I do this, it feels like an honor. Even if it only applies to like 5 people. It's still such an honor. Okay, so, wow. Okay, I have new moon in Libra. New romantic cycle begins. And it has these scales of balance on them. So, again, we had balance come out here. And we had what I was interpreting as balance here, the need for balance. This seems to really be echoing that. And if you are looking for a new relationship, maybe this is a little wink in your direction that is a little bit of what some of this is about too, that your renewal might include the opportunity for new love. If you're already in a relationship, this might be about renewing that connection. But if we're not talking about a relationship at all, I think that this has to do with your relationship with yourself as well, especially because the inner parent came out. Because this is a collective reading, this might apply in people's lives in so many different ways, but you will intuitively know how to interpret this card. I'm going to get you an angel number and then we'll be all done with your reading. We have 4499, transformation, new beginning, strength and clarity. Face the difficulties. Wow. It literally says transformation, new beginnings, which is so in alignment with what we've been talking about. And then it says, please ask your angels to assist you in having confidence, knowing that these endings and beginnings are a response to your prayers. So it's happening for you. So again, this message of new beginnings, of transformation, of it's happening for you, it's literally an answer to a prayer. So it might be really great to reflect on, what have you prayed for lately? What might this be an answer to that you've been wanting for a while now? Sometimes our wishes and our hopes and our dreams are answered in ways that ask us to actually scale mountains and overcome obstacles so that we can use that hardship and that adversity to gain clarity about ourselves and about our lives, and to foster qualities in us that we'll need once we get there. Here, it's like you're on this climb right now, and who you're becoming along the way is what you'll need to be here. And being here seems to be an answer to a prayer of some sort. This is all very exciting and transformational energy. If you feel comfortable sharing how it's showing up in your life, I would love to hear it. It would mean so much to me. I'll go ahead and leave your reading here. Thank you so much again, and I'll be on again soon. Bye.